Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. Right now, today, this is going to be, I'm going to talk about the finale of KANDI'S ski trip. There's only a few episodes. I'm not going to talk real long, because it was just that. It just, they were pulling everything, I guess, basically together. The first thing they did, we went right in where they left out, and Kandi put Carmen in the room to talk to Mama Joyce, and it was just a catastrophe, just like I thought it would be. It was just ridiculous. I mean, it just literally 2 seconds in, it was a shouting match. It was a shouting match, and again, very unfair to Carmen. Mama Joyce ain't trying to let go of nothing. She just going on and on. She was talking in circles. She was nasty. She, basically, she went over the whole thing. Carmen was like, I've known you since I was 12 years old. 12 years old. And I've never slept with Todd. I would never do that. This, that, thing, and the other. And she's talking about, I don't know. I know you, Karma, but I don't know Todd. And if a man will stick it in any hole, as long as a woman let him. And you ain't no friend, and this, that, thing, and the other. And she just went on. She was just nasty. It was nasty. It was ridiculous. It had no business even taking place because Kandi should have never put the two of them in a room together. It was a dumb idea. It was a dumb idea. But Joyce really needs to chill. She really just... So out of her mouth, some of the things that comes out of her mouth, Carmen is a much better friend than I am. Because I can pretty much tell you, it was funny. Me and my mom, here I go. Me and my mom were talking and we were laughing because I know how my mother actually does it. My mother can't argue. That's just her. She cannot argue. That's why I always would say the stuff that was going on with Todd's mom and Joyce would have never went on with my mom. My mother, her patience is just not there like that. She can't do the banter, the back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And she has this thing, she'll choke you. That's when she hears enough, she chokes. That's what she does. So I was laughing and I said, Mommy, I could see you and Joyce in that room right now. My mother said, oh, no, you couldn't see me and Joyce in that room. She said, because I would choke her fucking tongue out. I would want her to shut up and I would take and choke her fucking, I said, see? And I'm sitting there and, I was screaming because I had a visual of it. She can't. My mother can't. She can't take it. All this, she can't. Now, I could go. I'll change you word for word, baby. I'll break you down to the lowest common fucking denominator and come back for some more. And I can go, And then after a point, I'll slap the shit out of you. But my mother, she don't have any. Her name is Patience, but she has none. She don't have no patience for that shit. And I was laughing because I could see her. I could see Joyce's head going like this, honey. But she just was, I just couldn't. I don't understand why Kandi even believes that Carmen should have to go through that shit with her mother. You get your mother. Get her. Get her or I'll get her. That's just the way it is. Everybody ain't got to respect your mother like that. Somebody will knock your mother's motherfucking block off. And yours too. Because, she always running. She going to drag a bitch and all this. There's been plenty group ass whoopers that's been handed out. And I could pretty much guarantee you I would give Joyce and Kandi a group on, honey. Because all that foolishness, that's too much. It's too much. But what was good that did kind of came out of it is Carmen went to see the aunts. She went to see Aunt Bertha and Aunt Nora. And they were being messy at the beginning of this trip, but I don't know. I don't care. I still like Aunt Nora. Aunt Nora, for me, I don't know why it just works for me. I like her. I really do. She was messy a little bit at this ski trip thing at the beginning. A little bit messy, but I like Aunt Nora. Something about her I like, and I loved seeing her interact with Todd's mother. Her and Miss Sharon, I thought were a perfect pair. I would love to have gone hanging out with them for lunch and cocktails, because I could just imagine that it would have just been too much fun with Miss Sharon on one side and Aunt Nora on the other side. I could just imagine that would just be a fabulous time. No Joyce, no Bertha. Bertha reminds me of the aunt that's just bitter. You know, you love her, but she bitter. We'll keep her, but you know she bitter. Wait a minute. Okay. The other thing, when Carmen actually came up to the room to see the aunts, see them aunts is too much. Did you notice the wigs hanging on the coat hangers? Wigs hanging on the coat. I said, you all stop this with your country asses. Why do y'all got them gills hanging on the coat rack? I cracked up. I said, they need to stop. They're a mess. But when Carmen went up there and started talking to them, that's when they started pouring out some more information that made me back up. I said, whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Shed a whole lot of light on Mama Joyce and her behavior. Mama Joyce has had some type of a surgery to prevent an aneurysm, to prevent a stroke. There was an aneurysm in her head years ago, and they did a surgery to prevent her having a stroke. So Mama Joyce ain't always on Tuesday when we on Tuesday. Sometimes Mama Joyce is a week behind or 2 months ahead. She a little different. And I said, wait a minute. Now this is painting a picture here. Here we're getting a little picture. And Carmen, you know, it made me like Carmen, because I didn't really care for Carmen too much. I you know, fuck her. It wasn't no real big thing. But her whole switched around. Like, wait a minute, I do remember Mama Joyce having this, and this, that, thing, and the other. And Carmen literally switched from that point till it was all over. She went right out of the back and forth with Mama Joyce. She literally, I think that girl genuinely. So I'm not arguing with her no more. I'm not arguing with her. Whatever. It is what it is. And when I say like somebody throws something in the sea of forgetfulness, she just threw it on in there, honey. She just threw that on in there. I think that's how it goes. Is it the sea of forgetfulness? Y'all correct it. Tell me what it really is. But she literally left that shit alone. When she burned it, threw it in the fire to burn it, I believe Carmen means that. That she, you know, and that showed a lot of character. Because it's very hard. You know, I have a hard time with forgiveness. I really, really do. I'm not a very forgiving person. I'm a mean motherfucker when I want to be. And I don't feel like I have to forgive you. Fuck you. If you start with being, let's get it on. You know, but that took a lot of character. But it did make a lot of sense to some of her craziness. And the fact of her and Kandi, when Aunt Bertha talked about her and Candy's relationship, all that made a whole lot of sense. I said, uh-huh. See, Joyce and Bertha put it into perspective. Joyce wants to be Candy's friend. To the point, like she wants to be her friend. She wants to hang out with her and all of this like she used to do. But see, Mama Joyce fucked that up for herself. She did. She fucked that up for herself. She took, do you remember back when Ridiculous was actually on the show? When he did the strip show thing and Mama Joyce went through, oh, I'm just so offended and it just wasn't right and this, that, and the other. From that time till this, you stop seeing Kandi drag Mama Joyce to everything with the girls. You can't have it both ways, Joyce. Either you down and you hanging with the girls or you playing parents. You can't have both. See, that's why I said parents and reality shows, no. Because you was so offended because he shook the big dick and he sucked it and all that. That all offended you. And you want to be Mama Joyce, but you really want to be Joyce, their girlfriend Joyce. You can't be both. You can't be both. It's one or the other. So Kandi kind of pulled back. And it seems like that's where some of the problem is. Joyce wants more time with Kandi. Carmen's always hanging with Kandi. Because remember, we didn't used to see Carmen. We used to see Don Juan here and there, but we didn't see Carmen and stuff. And, you know, she went and found people to hang out with us her own age. You did that shit, Joyce, with your crazy ass. And you don't need to hang with them. Go find you somewhere to be. Go find you some business. But she just was down on Dawn Juan and Carmen. She just miserable. And misery loves company. And that's all that there is to it. That's all there is to it. So anyway, let me go through a couple of these other little things. Pull them together. Child Todd took the damn aunts to the reefer store. That was funny. I was laughing at Bertha. I think Bertha smoked weed. And Bertha got nervous. And was sitting up in there and then got all paranoid. She's like, I don't want to be in there. I'll just go on and stay in the house. And all that. But that was funny. Absolutely hilarious. Let me tell you this. That little Matthew, I thought Matthew was cool. Matthew ain't cool. Matthew is slick like cat shit. You hear me? And they better watch him. But I think Todd's going to end up firing him. When he watches this footage back, he ain't got no other choice but to fire him. Because that motherfucker is up to no good. He's up to no good. He after Carmen and he's out to say, I ain't got that to do, Matthew. I thought you was cool. But all that backstabbing ass faggoty bullshit you doing, because that's what that is. Yes, I used the word. I did. That's backstabbing, faggoty ass bullshit that he's doing. Going after their job, grinning and smiling. And the nicest thing that can happen for him is that Todd fire him. The next nicest thing is that Dawn Juan and Carmen give him a good old motherfucking ass whooping, because that's what he's going toward. It turned me completely off. That whole little wanting to get in with Mama Joyce and all that. Mama Joyce is going to lead you down a bad road, dude. But I think after this show, I think we won't be seeing much more of you, because you ain't to be trusted. And if you do it to Carmen and Dawn Juan, you'll motherfucking do it to Kandi and Todd. And they need to know that. So I hope they paying attention. Don't get too caught up. Get that motherfucker out of y'all's midst. Honey, there's thieves in the motherfucking temple. And you need to clean it up. Let's see. That argument really was too much between Mama Joyce and that goddamn Carmen child. Mama Joyce was going to say, what, you going to go from a Honda to a Mercedes, Karma? She said, well, excuse me, but I know you don't think you look the same as you did when Kandi didn't have no money. And she going to say, oh, wait a minute, baby. Wait a minute. Carmen let her have it. Shut up, Joyce. You're ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. Anyway. But yeah, when Aunt Nora broke down, child, that just hurt my little heart. I said, oh my God, and a tear came out. I said, oh, see, I still do love Aunt Nora. And she said, I don't know how to help my sister, honey. Child, your sister's cuckoo you, honey. Ain't nothing you can do to help her. But, yeah, Aunt Bertha put that shit all down. She told around, she said, both of them crazy as hell, Joyce and Kandi. I said, okay, here we go. Here we go. But anyway, the ending was cool. You know, they basically, everybody said what it was. There was the issues, and they was going to leave it there on the trip and be done with it and be better. I definitely think the two girls are going to be better. And Todd and Kandi actually seem to have cleared up some things. When he went in there and told Joyce, I swear on my dead mother, honey, I didn't sleep with Carmen. You know? But I'm still looking at Joyce. Joyce didn't want to hear. Joyce ain't letting it go. Joyce full of shit. And I guarantee you by the time Real Housewives of Atlanta come back on, Joyce will be back at her shit again. Now we know that she's nutball Sally. So ain't no need to even argue with her. It just is what it is. But I ain't believe shit she was saying. I sure didn't. But anyway, that's basically it. That was it for Kandi's little skiing trip. It was cool. It was all right. So y'all can thumbs up or thumbs down. You know how that works. And I will see you guys when the Real Housewives come back on. Later for now. Bye, guys.